Hello and welcome to this third video in our series on using ResearchGate. In today's video, we're going to talk about the potential benefits of using this tool to build an international profile. So ResearchGate and other academic social networks has a potential to be a serious tool for researchers. There are a number of benefits, and we surveyed around 500 researchers in Japan. Most of those are being Japanese, with a small percentage being foreign researchers working in Japan. So today I'm going to present 8 of the main benefits that we identified or that our participants shared with us, and they're presented in order of frequency. So the first benefits that I share are the benefits that were most commonly proposed by the participants. So here is the full study, and of course it's available on ResearchGate. So the first and most common benefit that our participants shared was gaining access to publications. So there is a quote here from one of our participants just explaining that they have been able to get access to literature that they might not have otherwise been able to get their hands on, because not all universities have access to databases, and especially international databases that can be very expensive for institutions, and of course purchasing individual papers is almost impossible for most researchers. So this is a really important role that ResearchGate plays. So if you find a publication on ResearchGate that you are interested in, if you see this mark here, full text available, you can push here and you'll be able to download immediately a copy of that paper. Depending on what the researcher has uploaded or has been able to upload, it may be the final copy, but it may be a preprint. But in either case, you'll be able to get a copy of the article content. Yeah, you can just push download here. If the article is not available online, so what that means is the researcher, and this is my colleague Margaret, they have put some information about the article, so we can probably see the abstract, but they aren't able to share publicly their document because of copyright. So what you can do is press this button. It's a request full text. It's all automatic, so you don't have to worry about your English skills. You just push the button and they'll get a request. They may be quite quick in responding, depending on how often they are accessing ResearchGate. But when I request full text articles, probably 80% of the time I will get a response within a week or so. And so what you will get is a notification here. Has got a 1 here, so something has happened, and I can see that Margaret has sent me that text so that I can download it for my own personal use, which is usually something that is allowed within the copyright of the big publishers. Okay, so the next benefit is about gaining knowledge about new research and about researchers. So this participant here has talked about being able to find updates on new publications in their particular area of interest. So what will happen is that as you engage more and more with different research, so you're looking at research, you're downloading, and you're also uploading your own research, the algorithms within ResearchGate will start to understand the things that you are interested in and the topics and the methods, and it will start to recommend research. So our next benefit is about disseminating our own research. So not just getting the research of others, but to share what we are doing and what we've done. and so making our research visible internationally is very important for many researchers, particularly in Japan. Of course, we are often required to use Research Map to disseminate our research, but of course it's a domestic academic social network, and so ResearchGate has a potential to reach researchers in many different contexts, in many different countries. Now, of course, ResearchGate, the platform itself, is only in English, but the research that you upload could be in any language at all. So what you can do is to upload your document in Japanese, in the original, and you could add a translation of the title and the abstract, or maybe just some highlights and keywords in English, so that at least the idea of your research is reaching researchers who can't speak or read Japanese. So the next benefit is about communicating with other researchers. So this is part of the networking part of ResearchGate. We can communicate with other researchers in several ways. There are very passive ways, quite simple ways. For example, we can like and follow and recommend other people's research. Now, what the other researcher will just see is that you have liked their research. So it's quite passive, but it's one way to begin a relationship. We can also send direct messages. These are private messages, and we can also comment more publicly with researchers, perhaps by asking them some questions. So this particular participant has talked about the importance of ResearchGate in developing that network. So the next benefit was about receiving feedback and motivation. And again, these benefits we're getting to smaller numbers of participants, but certainly there were participants who talked about getting feedback from other researchers, perhaps before they send a paper off for peer review, getting some feedback from international researchers as well as local researchers can be really important for getting feedback, especially if we're submitting to international journals. So this particular quote here is in italics because it's translated from a participant who wrote their answer in Japanese. So this is a translation. So the next benefit is about assessing the impact of one's research. Sometimes it can be quite difficult to know if anyone even cares about what we do, but when we post on ResearchGate, we can see how many people are looking at, how many people are downloading, how many people are liking our research. And there is some research to suggest that this being publicly posting our research on academic social networks can have a positive impact on citations. So perhaps by sharing it in more places, ResearchGate being just one possibility, that the chance of getting cited will also increase. So our next benefit is about gaining opportunities for collaboration. In our study, this was not a benefit that was shared by too many researchers, but we know that in other countries, and particularly English-speaking countries, that the networking and collaboration part of ResearchGate is what is really important. And we think that there are some limitations that prevent researchers in Japan from really engaging in the collaboration part of ResearchGate. So we're going to focus in this video number 7 about how to do this more effectively. But for those who did mention this as a benefit, they really did share some really concrete examples of instances where using ResearchGate directly or indirectly led to collaboration opportunities. So as this person has suggested, I contacted a researcher, they had some similar interests, and they got in contact and are now planning to collaborate. And we've heard many similar stories among our colleagues. And myself, I have had collaborations with people I first knew of or contacted with through ResearchGate. And particularly in these times of COVID pandemic, when we don't have as many opportunities to go to international conferences, that these tools may be really important in continuing those international and even domestic collaborations. And our final benefit is about organizing research outputs. So as we continue in our careers, we might start to develop a healthy body of outputs and lots of different types of outputs. So peer-reviewed articles and conference presentations and poster presentations. And so what we can do is use ResearchGate to organize all of our work in one convenient place, not just to share with other people, but also to organize for our own benefit. And we often have to draw on all of this information if we are applying for a new job or a promotion. So just to sum up this video about the benefits of ResearchGate, there are potential benefits to be harnessed. So it's not necessarily a time waster as some people may conceive it to be without this inside knowledge. Academic social networks, including ResearchGate, may be a really integral tool for modern scholars. It's not something that's going to disappear as we move more and more online for teaching and learning and, of course, research. But, of course, ResearchGate or other academic social networks need to be used effectively in order to bring out those benefits, and also it needs to be used in consideration of the risks and the potential challenges. And so that brings us to our next video, where I will talk a little bit about the challenges that our participants talked about when they engage with ResearchGate as an internationally minded scholar. So hope to see you there.